Hey guys, I hope you're well. We'll go ahead and get started today. You don't need any props if you don't want them. We'll go ahead and start in a comfortable seat. So, however you're comfortable, you can sit onto the ground. Feel free to sit up onto a prop. You can also sit at the edge of a chair or even on the edge of your couch if that's more comfortable for you. You can have your legs crisscross applesauce. You can also have your legs extended out in front of you. Go ahead and find your comfortable spot now. And once you get there, feel free to close your eyes. You can also just gaze gently at the ground. And for just a few moments, notice your body. Notice what you feel like here and now. Take note of any tension, any areas of gripping, any areas of tightness. And just place them into the back of your mind, and hopefully over these next 30 minutes, we can release some of that. And now start to notice your breath. Notice where in your body your breath starts. And also notice where it ends. Notice the flow. Notice the rhythm and the cadence without judgment, without trying to change anything. Just simply becoming aware. And now that you've noticed your breath, allow your breath to deepen. Really expand your belly each time you inhale. Fill up your lungs. And each time you exhale, allow your belly to fall. Allow your shoulders to soften. Empty your lungs completely. Inhale, expand your belly. As you exhale, allow your belly to fall. And now, keeping some attention on your deep breaths, pay some attention to your face. Notice what's happening in your jaw. Notice your tongue. Notice your eyes and even your eye sockets. Can you soften those just 10%? Find your breath and soften. Take 3 more deep breaths this way, allowing your face, your jaw to be soft, allowing your breath to be deep. And once you're ready, gently blink your eyes open. Okay, if you need to shift your legs, do so now. We'll be seated for just a few more moments. On your inhale, lift your arms up overhead, lengthen through your side bodies. As you exhale, bring your palms together at your heart, and then release your arms down by your sides. Inhale, float your arms up overhead. Exhale, bring your palms together at your heart and release your arms. Inhale, arms come up overhead, extend your side bodies. Exhale, palms come together at your heart, release your hands. 2 more. Inhale, arms come up overhead, lengthen. Exhale, palms come to your heart. Release your hands, your arms. Last one. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, palms to your heart. And release your arms down by your sides. And now drop your chin towards your chest. And then drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Drop your head back to your upper back. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Drop your chin to your chest. Just taking some neck circles here, opening up through the neck, the jaw. And go ahead and reverse the direction. Staying with your breath, soft jaw. And when you're ready, come back up through center. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Take your right hand, gently place it above your left ear, and gently press your palm into your head to take the neck stretch. Breathe into your neck. Soften your jaw. On your next inhale, come on up and switch sides. Left ear to your left shoulder. Take your left hand, place it above your right ear. Press your palm into your head and breathe into your neck. On your next inhale, come on up. Last stretch here, drop your chin to your chest, interlace your hands around your head, and then point your elbows out. Press the backs of your hands into your head to send your chin deeper into your chest. Breathe into the back of your neck here. On your next inhale, come on up. Release your hands to your thighs and take your time. Come to stand in mountain pose at the center of your yoga mat. So, mountain pose, you can have the inner edges of your feet together to touch. You could also have your feet hip-width distance apart, whatever feels good to you. Just make sure all 10 of your toes point straight ahead. Lift your kneecaps up and press your tailbone forward slightly. Find your breath here. On your next inhale, lift your arms up over your head. As you exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins, lift up halfway. And as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, float your arms up overhead, upward hands pose. As you exhale, release your arms down by your sides, mountain pose. 2 more just like that. Inhale, arms come up overhead, upward hands. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, float your arms up overhead, upward hands pose. As you exhale, release your arms down by your sides, mountain pose. Last one. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. On your next inhale, lift your arms up overhead, upward hands. And as you exhale, release your arms down by your sides. Now here, bring the inner edges of your feet as close together as you can, and bring your right hand to your right hip. Lift your left arm up in line with your ear and point your palm in. Now squeeze your legs in and press your tailbone forward slightly. On your next inhale, lift your torso. As you exhale, tip your torso to the right, hips to the left. Feel the side body stretch here. Now wherever you're at, plug both shoulders in towards your spine, and then press your right hand into your right hip. Send your breath into your left side body. On your next inhale, come on up and switch sides. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Reach your right arm up in line with your ear. Palm points in. Squeeze your legs in. Press your tailbone forward slightly. On your next inhale, lift your torso. As you exhale, tip your torso to the left, hips to the right. Again, squeeze your shoulders in. Keep squeezing your legs in. And then press your left hand into your left hip to send your hips further to the right and feel the side body stretch through your right side. On your next inhale, come on up. Release your arms down by your sides. You can shake out your shoulders if you need to. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, hands come to shins, lift up halfway. As you exhale, fold forward, start to crawl your hands forward, and then lower your knees down to the ground. Come into table pose at the center of your mat. So your hands will be underneath your shoulders, knees will be underneath your hips. Separate your hands shoulder width distance apart and point your pointer finger straight ahead. On your next inhale, round your back like a cat, pull your chin in towards your chest and scoop your tailbone forward. As you exhale, cow pose, bring your shoulders in, let your hips move up and gaze straight ahead. Inhale, round your back, cat pose, press the floor away, scoop your tail forward. And as you exhale, cow pose, concave your spine, bring your shoulders in, gaze straight ahead. 3 more rounds. Inhale, cat pose, round your back, tone your low belly. As you exhale, cow pose, shoulders come in, hips move up, gaze straight ahead. 2 more rounds. Inhale, round your back, cat pose. And exhale, cow pose. Last round. Inhale, cat pose. And exhale, cow pose. Come back to a neutral spine. And then step your right leg back behind you and tuck your toes under. So I'll turn to the side so you can see. And then just start to rock back and forth, feeling the calf stretch here. You can even hang out to the back and really feel that stretch through the back. And then come back forward, replace your right knee, extend your left leg back behind you, tuck your toes under. You can start to rock back and forth, back and forth. You can even hang out to the back, feeling the stretch through the back of your left leg. And when you're ready, come back through center. If you're feeling this in your wrists, feel free to take a break. You can hang out on your knees, maybe take some wrist circles, maybe even some finger flicks, or just rest your hands. We're gonna do one more pose here in table. So when you're ready, come back through table. Extend your left arm out in front of you and point your palm in. Plug your left shoulder in towards your spine. You can stay here or extend your right leg back behind you. Toes are lifted off of the floor, leg is lifted. Now, reach back through your toe tips, reach forward through your fingertips, and then with that same effort, squeeze everything in. Find your breath, a little core work. At the bottom of your next exhale, release left hand, right leg. Last side. Extend your right arm out in front of you, point your palm in, stay here, or extend your left leg back behind you this time. Now plug your right shoulder in, reach back through your left toe tips, reach forward through your right fingertips, and again with that same effort, squeeze everything in. 2 big breaths here in tiger, opposite arm, opposite leg. On your next exhale, release. Bring your big toes together to touch, separate your knees wide, and now send your hips back towards your heels, crawl your hands forward, and bring your forehead to or toward your yoga mat. This is child's pose. Find your breath here. 2 more big breaths. When you're ready, press yourself back up into table pose. Bring your shins back to parallel, so they're parallel to one another. And then take your time, bring your right foot forward in between your hands. And now you can stay here or gently lift your torso up, bring your hands to your hips. Now with your hands to your hips, move your right hip back in space, engage your left glute, stay here or start to work your hips down and forward towards the top of your yoga mat. Squeeze your inner thighs in. You can keep hands to hips or lift your arms up overhead. Anytime the arms lift up over the head, the heart rate increases. So depending on what you're feeling here and now, do what's best for you and your body. On your next inhale, lift your hips, release your hands to frame your front foot, and then come back with your right leg, table pose. When you're ready, step your left foot forward in between your hands. You can stay here and work this, or inhale, lift your torso, bring your hands to your hips. Now this time move your left hip back in space, squeeze your inner thighs in. Engage your right glute. You can stay here or start to work your hips down and forward towards the top of your mat. Now again, keep your hands to your hips or lift your arms up overhead. Low lunge. Find your breath and be sure to keep your right glute engaged. That will keep the front of your hips safe. On your next inhale, lift your hips, release your hands, and walk your left leg back into table pose. Now, you can stay here in table pose, or you can walk your knees back 4 to 6 inches, tuck your toes under, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. First down dog of class. Feel free to pedal out your feet. You can roll onto the inner and outer edges of your feet. Anything your body might be requesting of you here and now, go ahead and do that. Now if you're in table pose, you can hang out there. Take a few more deep breaths here in table pose or downward facing dog. Notice your body here. And when you're ready, everybody come forward into plank pose, top of a push-up. You can do modified plank if you'd like, which means that your knees are low, like I am here. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, lower your belly, your hips, and your thighs down to the floor at the same rate. And then one at a time, lift your legs up and walk your feet back behind you so you create space through the fronts of your hips. And now crawl your hands off of your yoga mat, come up high onto your fingertips. Plug your shoulders in and lift your chest slightly. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, dip your right shoulder forward. Inhale, come back to neutral. Exhale, dip your left shoulder forward. Inhale, come back neutral. Exhale, dip your right shoulder. Inhale, find neutral. Exhale, dip your left shoulder. We'll do one more round. Inhale, find neutral. Exhale, dip your right shoulder. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, dip your left shoulder. Inhale, come on up and place your palms flat onto your yoga mat. You can stack your palms and then place your forehead onto your palms and just find neutral here. Allow your shoulders to round forward. Allow your body to come back to neutral. Take your time, and when you're ready, frame your torso with your hands, tuck your toes. You can find table pose. You can also find downward facing dog. Wherever you're at, however you get there, step your right foot forward in between your hands. And if your left knee is not to the ground, go ahead and bring it to the ground. Walk your left hand up and out so it's underneath your shoulder, not behind your shoulder. So make sure you've got almost like a diagonal from your shoulder to your hand. And then reach your right fingertips up towards the sky. Now you can stay here or engage your left glute, Maybe work your hips down and forward. Squeeze your shoulders in. Find your breath. Soften your jaw. Notice where your mind has gone. On your next exhale, release your right hand down. You can find table pose or downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward in between your hands. And if your right knee is not to the ground, go ahead and lower it. Walk your right hand up and out so it's underneath your shoulder. And then peel your left fingertips up towards the sky, up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your shoulders in. Feel free to engage your right glute. Maybe work your hips down and forward towards the top of your mat. Find your breath. Notice where your mind is. On your exhale, release your left hand down. You can find table pose or downward facing dog. Wherever you're at, come forward into plank or modified plank. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, lower down onto your belly. This time, extend your arms out in front of you. Pinky edges of hands down to the ground. Point your palms in. Now press your tailbone down. Squeeze your shoulders in. On your next inhale, just lift your legs up. You can stay here or lift your arms up as well. This is superhero. Find 2 deep breaths here. And at the bottom of your second exhale, stack your palms again, rest your forehead, allow your shoulders to round, find your breath. When you're ready, frame your torso with your hands, tuck your toes, find table pose or downward facing dog. Bend your knees and crawl your hands back to meet your feet for a forward fold at the back of your yoga mat. Relax your head, relax your neck, and lean weight forward into the balls of your feet. Allow your shoulders to round. Feel space through your upper back, through your mid back. On your next inhale, bring your hands to your shins, lift up halfway. As you exhale, forward fold. On your next inhale, lift your arms up over your head, upward hands. And as you exhale, release your arms down by your sides. Find your mountain pose. Okay, so we're gonna do Tai Chi twists now. And so separate your feet kind of wide here, but do make sure your toes point straight ahead. And then just start to twist your torso side to side. The more momentum you build, your arms might start going. And you can lightly tap the front and back body with your hands each time you twist. Be sure to find your breath. And as you're ready, go ahead and come back to neutral. Bring your hands to your hips. Come up high onto your right tippy toes. And then spin your right heel in so the sole of your right foot comes to or towards your left ankle. Now you can stay here or slide your foot up to your calf. You could also reach down, grab for your right foot, and place it to the root of your left thigh. Now today here, we're gonna work hands to hips. So relax your shoulders away from your earlobes. Press your right foot into your left leg, and then press your hands into your hips, down and in. So find grounding here. Keep that, lift your lungs, lift your heart. And now can you lift your back body the same way? So not just your chest is lifted, but your whole upper body. On your next exhale, slowly release your arms, release your legs. You can shake out your left ankle if you need to. Bring your hands back to your hips. Come up high onto your left toe tips. Now spin your left ankle in so the sole of your foot comes to or toward your right ankle. You can stay here or slide your foot up. You can also reach down, grab for your foot, place it to the root of your thigh. Press your foot and your leg into one another equally, and now soften your shoulders away from your earlobes. Now press your hands in and down onto your hips. Keep that. And lift your torso, lift your upper body without lifting your shoulders, keeping your shoulders soft, finding your breath, finding grounding. When you're ready, go ahead and release. Shake out your arms, shake out your leg. On your next inhale, lift your arms up overhead. As you exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. As you exhale, start to crawl your hands forward, find downward facing dog. Notice your body here. Feel free to pedal out your feet. You can wag your tail. Anything your body might be requesting of you here and now. When you're ready, lower your knees down to the ground. Take your time and come to lie down onto your back. Head can face front or back, whichever direction you'd like. And then once you get there, bring the soles of your feet down to the ground. And then just take some windshield wipers with your legs. Moving your hips, your knees to the right, knees to the left. I guess your hips kind of move here too, so just breathe into your body here. And when you're ready, come back through center. Bend your right knee in toward your chest. Interlace your hands around your right shin. Flex your right foot or point it, whatever feels good to you. And then relax your shoulders towards your yoga mat. Notice your body here. Press your hands and your leg into one another. On your next exhale, release your right leg. Take those windshield wipers again, lowering knees to the left and the right and the left and the right. One more round. Left and right. And come back up through center. Bend your left knee in towards your chest. Do the same thing with your left foot that you did with your right foot. So if you pointed it, go ahead and point. If you flexed it, go ahead and flex. Interlace your hands around the left shin. And then relax your shoulders towards your yoga mat. Soften your upper back. Press your hands and your leg into one another and find your breath. Relax your jaw, soften your tongue. On your next exhale, release your left leg down. Take a few more rounds of windshield wipers here. When you're ready, find center. Extend your legs out straight. Reach your arms up overhead. Take a full body stretch. Reach your fingertips and your toe tips in opposite directions. And when you're ready, keep your legs as they are. Relax your arms down by your sides. Find your final resting pose. Pose of repose, Shavasana. This is the part of practice where we allow the stretching and the strengthening to integrate into our bodies. So do your best to relax mind and body here. I'll call you back as soon as it's time, but for now, please enjoy your rest. This is Shavasana. Slowly allow your breath to deepen. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe you turn your head slowly, gently, side to side. Feel free to reach your arms up overhead. And roll to whichever side of your body is calling to you, here and now. Take your time and gently press yourself up into a seat to face your screen. Feel free to rest your hands on your thighs or even bring your palms together at your heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing your sacred time. And thank you for practicing yoga with me today. As always, if you have questions, comments, concerns, or points of clarification, please reach out. Otherwise, have a stellar rest of your day.